Mansa Musa was a 14th century emperor of the Mali Empire in West Africa, who is said to have dramatically altered the course of world history without even knowing it. More on that in just a moment. But first, Mansa Musa became emperor in the early 1300s after his brother reportedly vacated the throne and set sail to explore what lay beyond the Atlantic Ocean. His brother never returned, and some historians claim that he made it all the way to the Americas, which, if true, would put him 200 years in America before Columbus. However, at this time, any evidence of his arrival in the Americas is largely circumstantial. But what is certain is that after Mansa Musa assumed the throne of Mali, he took the empire to great heights, expanding its borders to such an extent that today it would cover all or parts of 10 West African countries, making it the largest empire in the world at the time, which was only surpassed by the Mongol Empire. Mali became so rich during Musa's reign that historians say it produced 2/3 of the world's gold for centuries. This was accomplished partly because the Malians employed a unique form of technology that used glass to refine gold. This method was previously thought to have only developed in the 20th century with modern science, until 2005, when archaeologists discovered gold smelting furnaces in Mali that had used similar techniques at least as early as the 14th century. Here is Mansa Musa depicted on this 1375 Spanish map holding a golden orb. He used Mali's wealth to build universities in the city of Timbuktu, at least one of which still operates today, known as the University of Sankore, which also had a library which had one of the largest collections of books in the world at the time. Today, there is a treasure trove of thousands of manuscripts all over modern Mali, some of which are more than 1,000 years old and which are only now being studied. Mansa Musa is also known for a pilgrimage he made to Mecca in 1324, which has led many historians to label him as the richest person in history. For he carried with him an immeasurable amount of gold, much of which he gave away to the poor along the way. And now, here is how he is said to have altered world history. According to the History Channel program called Timeline 2000, in the early 14th century, the Middle East, to include North Africa, was on the verge of world domination, with many of its scientists and adventurers willing to undertake voyages of exploration, discovery, and commerce around the world. But because Mansa Musa had distributed so much gold in the region, it depressed the value of gold there for decades, ruining several economies in key areas and significantly hampering the ability of rulers there to sponsor expensive global voyages of discovery. This inadvertently paved the way for Europe to emerge and fill that role in the following century as the global superpower. Mansa Musa died around 1337 and was succeeded by his son. If interested in other aspects of medieval African history, please consider picking up a copy of my novel, The Red Monk of Roja, which is set in 13th century Ethiopia. It's available in audiobook, paperback, and ebook formats.